Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Impact Review for the 13th of October 2020. I know there are some people who think this was a good show. I was not as big a fan as I have been in previous shows. We opened the show with the focus of the attack of Eric Young on Rich Swann. The question is, will he be able to get cleared to wrestle for Bound for Glory? That is Swann. And then they recap the Motor City Machine Guns, Ace Austin, Madman Fulton main event, and the interference of the other teams involved in that match for the four-way. Fulton versus Gallows is set up tonight. EC3 buries the TNA Championship belt for good. And then the show opens with Moose complaining that Scott D'Amore has done nothing to deal with the EC3 situation. Moose is scheduled to wrestle, and Moose is just asking that management handle things correctly. At this point, so a couple of things. If Rich Swann was not able to wrestle at the pay-per-view, then that would kill any progress they've made with his character. So, yeah, no. I always hate the will he or she be back in time stories because I think it kills the momentum. I think you can do that for mid-card angles. I don't think you can do that for pay-per-view main events and have it go well. The EC3 thing, the TNA title, again, who cares? Like, at this point, stick to the Impact name. I hope this means they kill the TNA name completely. I don't think they will. Then a ladies match I don't really care about. Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary defeat Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan, and Havoc and Nevaeh. I don't care about it because there's too much here. So basically, all three teams have been interlinked for several months. They're involved in the same contest here. Rosemary needs Havoc to aid her to bring James Mitchell back so that he can perform the wedding. It's a little too sci-fi for me, but I do enjoy the Rosemary character outside of the resurrecting a dead guy. Eventually, women get involved. Hogan hits a dive onto Havoc, followed by Taya with a plancha. And Taya gets not caught in the right way. Rosemary spears Steelz and nails a sit-out bomb for the win. It was fine, but at the same time, I don't like multi-person matches. I don't think this did anything for any of the stories involved long term, and it just feels like filler at this point. Rosemary and Bravo's wedding are in 2 weeks. Rosemary and Taya can move on setting up the wedding episode now. The announcers, Madison Rayne and Josh Matthews, set up the Bound for Glory. Eddie Edwards and Ken Shamrock and Moose and EC3 and a Call Your Shot gauntlet is all going to be at the Bound for Glory pay-per-view. Johnny Bravo is complaining backstage that they've gone over budget for the wedding. He's unhappy with their preparation style and all of that. Falaba arrives and confirms he has not got the money to handle any of this. Ba did steal money from Hernandez, and Crazy Steve figured it out and calls him out on this. So Ba and Steve are going to be in a match later tonight, or actually almost in the next segment. Rosemary approached Havoc about getting her help to bring back Father James Mitchell. Havoc basically said she killed him off for a reason. Doesn't really say a reason to bring him back. Rosemary said this could jeopardize her wedding. Havoc offers Rosemary a match next week in which if Rosemary win, Havoc helps her bring back Mitchell. And this is a life or death stipulation. Well, wrestling's had everything now. Anyway, Crazy Steve defeats Fallah Bahh. Bahh comes out, and he's holding on to the money. The match itself was flat. Steve tries to grab the money several times. Bahh responds by using his strength to toss Steve around. Steve tries to choke out Fallah, but he's not successful. Steve manages to tear off the t-shirt off of Fallah and gets Bahh tries to cover the money. Steve rolls him up for the win. Not a good match. Could have skipped the segment completely. So Rhino meets with Heath in the locker room. Rhino says he feels sad for what's happened. Said he's pulled some strings to get Heath a shot in the call your shot gauntlet. And if either Rhino or Heath wins, Heath can get a contract with Impact. Why would Rhino care about Heath getting a contract this badly at this point? And why would Heath trust Rhino after the last few weeks to help him get that contract? Dean Moore enters, tells Rhino that he's a good friend. If neither Rhino or Heath wins, they both leave. So Rhino put his own contract on the line. Maybe this means Rhino's going heel. So Caleb with a K comes out, introduces Tenille Dashwood, announcing that she's going to enter the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. They announce the participants: Hernandez, Cousin Jake, Alicia Edwards, Rhino, Heath, and Tommy Dreamer, Brian Myers, Tenille Dashwood, Johnny Swinger, and Cody Deaner. Matthews confirmed that the participants will be picked at random. Stipulation of the match is that the winning team will have a 5-way match next week where the winner will get the number 1 spot or the number 20 spot in the Bound for Glory Call Your Shot matchup at the Bound for Glory. Lots of chaos here. Basically, they're trying to get everyone in on the time. Action comes from Hernandez beating up Dreamer in that, 10-man. Heath and Myers did have some chemistry with each other. Swinger blind tagged himself in only to get the wake-up call from Heath for the win. Backstage, Callahan teased Eddie Edwards, distracting him from Ken Shamrock. Jimmy Jacobs interviews Eric Young about the attack on Swan. He says the match at Bound for Glory is unconfirmed at this point. He seems happy with this. Kylie Ray defeats Kimber Lee with Deanna Purrazzo after the attack on Susie by Purrazzo and Lee at Victory Road. Kylie Ray is out to get revenge. Purrazzo is basically using this match to weaken Kimber Lee for the pay-per-view. Ray is fired up during the match. She's going nuts, not smiling nearly as much, goes for submissions and strikes. She goes for a run on the apron. Lee blocks her and hits a apron bomb, turns the match around. Lee goes to the head, tries to get submission, delayed vertical suplex near fall. Ray eventually makes a comeback, hits the Kylie special for a 2 count. Lee gets a good near fall with a sit-out powerbomb, and Ray hits the smile finish for the win. Good match. Personally, I'd have the women's belt on Kylie right now. I think they could do the Bayley character better than WWE did it. Anyway, after the match, Kylie Ray didn't release her submission. allowing Purrazzo to attack her from behind. They brawl. Anderson and Gallows cut a promo saying that when they first came to Impact, it was for the money, but they realized they liked it. Now they can be the best in the area. They want to hold the tag team championships. They promised they would walk out of Bound for Glory as new champions. Doc Gallows with Carl Anderson against Madman and Fulton with Ace Austin. They go to a double countout. Basically, mean guy, big guy match. It's a brawl. Nothing really gets accomplished. Fulton hits a snake eyes on Gallows. They go to the floor. They punch and kick all the way around, and the double countout they don't really care about. So the match has been restarted as a no DQ match coming back from commercial. Fulton and Gallows are brawling around. Fulton grabs a lead pipe, and Gallows handles a chair. Pipe versus chair. Do you wonder what wins? They proceed to hit each other with everything they can find. Chairs, signs, golf clubs. I mean, it's a good enough hardcore brawl, but wrestling's been doing too much of these lately. Fulton's in control of most of the match. Fulton tries a concerto on Gallows, and Gallows dodges, and Fulton goes headfirst in the chair. And then there's a double-handed chokeslam on a bed of chairs, and the win is there. Not a bad match. Matthews and Rain run down next week's card, including Call Your Shot Gauntlet number 20 spot match. Callahan and Eddie Edwards, Rohit Raju, Chris Bay and Jordana Grace versus Willie Mack, Trey Miguel, and TJP, all competitors in the Bound for Glory X Division Scramble for the title. And finally, North versus Good Brothers. Eric Young comes down to the ring. He demands Anderson on the status for Bound for Glory. We saw Scott D'Amore finish a call with either Swan or Swan's doctor. Young demands that D'Amore confirm the cancellation of the World Championship match Bound for Glory. D'Amore said Young has done substantial more damage to Swan's leg. They go back and forth talking trash. Match is still on. Rich Swan's recovery is ahead of schedule and would be cleared for Bound for Glory. Eric Young is unhappy with this. This leads to the break of the ankle of Scott D'Amore. Does anybody care enough about who D'Amore is? So Rich Swann comes out, lays out Young with a cutter, and that's that. And then we move to, it's fine for what it is, but I don't think it leads to any real actual pay-per-view buys or anything like that. Before the show ended, Moose finds EC3. EC3 and Moose start brawling over a bridge. EC3 knocks down Moose and laughs. Moose recovers, attacks EC3, and leaves him bloody, walks away with the TNA title. EC3 laughs in the background, and I don't know. This was a horrible way to end the show. It's not a bad angle, but if this is close to the payoff, I'm not impressed. In any event, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.